shoulders a bit. I'm not sure what we're gonna do today or focus on, if there is a focus. Might just be here doing the thing, doing our yoga. Take your arms, reach them up, and bring them down into your heart space. From there, lift back up with your inhale. Exhale all the way out and down. Again, inhale up into the heart. Exhale, inhale up, exhale out. Good, 2 more times, lift up. Big expansive breath, open up the ribs. Exhale, draw your navel in. 1 more time, in, out, down, and up, into the heart. Exhale. Let's go ahead and just come on into our table right away and continue some cat-cows. In your tabletop with the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees under the hips. Throughout your practice, do what's right for you. Listen in, modify, omit, do whatever is right for you. Couple more breaths like that in your cat-cows. Honor anything that's coming up. And move your hands forward, tuck your toes, lift up your hips to your down dog. And into your downward facing dog, pedal out your feet, bending into 1 foot at a time, into 1 knee at a time. Great. Keep doing that. I'm gonna put this rascally rabbit away because he is not gonna stop being wild. So keep doing your down dog, a couple more breaths. Feel it out. Okay, from down dog, walk forward to the front of your mat. Come to a half lift and exhale into your forward fold. Bend your knees in your forward fold. Come into another half lift, hands either to the ground or to the shins, maybe on blocks. Exhale, bend the knees a lot to fold. And 1 more time, a little half lift, lengthen the spine, lengthen the legs, draw your navel in, get this core strength lengthening through the spine, through the top of your head, and exhale, let it go into fold. Rise all the way up. Open up your arms side to side if you like. Lift open, and exhale, bring it into the heart space to forward fold. Good. Little half lift. Sometimes I think like quarter lift with my hands on the ground. It's just like this little lengthening. And step your right foot to lead into plank pose. Right foot leads, left foot follows into plank. Good. You can play with your hips being a little high and a little low, and then find in between. And we're here breathing. And it's okay. 1 more breath. Slowly bring the knees down and lower your heart down. Come into some cobras, anchor your toes down, pinky toes down. Start energizing the heart little by little with your inhales, lifting up the heart, letting it go. Inhale lifts up, exhale soften. Elbows hug back. Anchor your pinky toes. Anchor your pelvic bone. Lift up the low belly. Lift up your navel. Draw your ribs in and let the heart shine up. 1 more time. Cobra, little cobras. Great. Exhale, push into down dog. Cobra is like creating the opposite of kind of like sitting at a computer all day posture, kind of hunching over posture. It's really taking the opposite throughout the whole back. Thinking about building strength through the low back, middle back, between the shoulder blades. Step all the way forward. Bend the knees, exhale, fold. Rise up, reach up, we're gonna stay up. Round down into the heart, and you can relax the arms to the sides. Maybe you roll the shoulders a little bit. So if we were to do cobra standing up, bring your legs together. Press into the feet, right? If it was cobra, we'd be like standing on our tippy toes, but we don't need to go there unless you really want to make it more like harder for yourself. Choose your battles. So tuck your tail slightly underneath you, make your legs really strong, super strong. Lift up your kneecaps, quads are engaged. Push your pelvis forward just slightly as if you were pushing it down into the mat. Elbows to your sides. And it's like squeeze your elbows in as if you could rotate your hands outside to side, but they don't. They're kind of stabilized here, right under the shoulders. And lift up the heart a little bit. Without pushing your tailbone out, keep that snugged under and open up across your chest a little bit more. Shoulder blades towards each other, down the back. Strong hands, strong arms, hug it in. We can feel how this is quite the opposite opening than like if you were to like round your shoulders, act like you're like at a computer, you know, like arms are forward, kind of hunching. I probably look much worse actually when I'm like at my laptop, like doing all kinds of weird stuff. But the opposite shines the heart up, draws the navel in, ribs in towards each other, even though they're opening. Great. Into your forward fold. Halfway lift, left foot leads into plank pose. Within plank, you find that same almost setup as that cobra, standing cobra, where the legs are strong. But instead of letting the heart shine, we just keep the front body all in one line of energy, strong. Exhale, lower down, inhale to cobra. Exhale to down dog. Take your right leg up, 3-leg dog, right leg lifting. And we're gonna be here breathing for 2 more breaths. So maybe you feel out the position of your leg, feel into your hands, feel into your standing leg, soften that heel. 1 more breath. Exhale, take your foot, step it forward. We're rising up, crescent lunge, come up. Knee over the heel, that core strength that lifts you up. Low belly, middle, upper, heart lifts. Knee over heel, back heel lifted. Arms up, maybe, if you want to have them at your sides. If you want to have them like offering arms with the palms open and the elbows down. As long as there's intention behind what you're doing it right. All right, step forward, land in mountain pose, come into chair pose. Sink down, you can sweep your arms up if you like. Chair pose, strong legs, low belly lifting, tailbone softening. Even as you sink down and back, we still keep some space. So we're not like crunching into the low vertebrae. We love our back. We love our discs. Reach up, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, take your right foot to lead into plank pose. Lead you back. Here we are again. Let's take 1 more round at least from the knees into cobra pose, lowering down, roll the heart open. Exhale, back to down dog. When you get there, 3-leg dog, left leg up. Another breath. Step your foot forward, rise, crescent lunge on this side. The foot lands, you can scooch it into place. As you're pushing into the feet, that stable sense of drawing in to lift you up. Amazing. Crescent lunge, back heel is lifting. You can have bend in your back knee or have it straight. You can feel into what's best in your back. It matters to the back. I recommend a little bend in the knee. That doesn't make it less strong. Great, step forward. Mountain pose, down to chair. Sink on in. You're doing so good. Where do your eyes go? What is your focus on? Awesome, lift back up. Exhale, forward fold. A little half lift, take your left foot to lead you back. Plank pose. Now in your plank, you might feel inspired to try a full plank to a chaturanga, where the elbows bend at the sides, at the ribs, and then that same heart draws forward. Come to the tops of the feet, wrists underneath the shoulders. This micro bend of the elbows towards the back of the mat to keep you from hyperextending it out and locking the elbows. Don't do that. Exhale to down dog. Always an option to do it from the knees, cobra. One's not better or worse. They're just options. Good. Slowly lower your knees down and come back into your tabletop. In table, take your hands, rotate the fingers towards you. You can do both at the same time or one at a time. I find one at a time to feel a little bit more soothing and stabilizing. Maybe less stressful if you have any injury to your wrist or shoulder. Change sides if you are doing one at a time. And I usually do this really small pulse back with my hips, just the slightest movement to find a little extra stretch in the forearm. Okay, let that go. Let's just come up to this kneeling for a second, just to take movement in both wrists. Whatever movement you like. Come into your table. Take your right leg back and your left hand forward. Press your palm into midline, push the arch into midline. 3 times, elbow to knee under the body. Inhale, lengthens out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Maybe you do it faster or slower. Slower if you need more stabilization. Exhale, let that go and change sides. Elbow to knee. Round, draw your navel in, lengthen back out, do it again. Notice what's happening in your supportive shoulder. And let it go. Good. Move your hands forward, draw your hips back. So not totally child's pose or puppy pose, just kind of lengthen and reach. So it's like my torso is kind of hovering. Good, come up to down dog. Jeez. Take your right leg up. Maybe you rotate it open a bit. Soft point through the foot, like you could wiggle your toes. Exhale, level it out. Step your foot all the way forward, as far forward as you can. I often lift my hand on that side, by the way, to get my foot forward, because there's not a lot of space. If my hand is down and I try to bring my leg forward, it's like, well, there's a body there, you know. Bring your knee down in the back. Lengthen out your leg, point your toes up. Draw your hips back, and we're breathing and relaxing over that front leg. Maybe you wiggle your toes. Maybe you roll your leg inside or outside, kind of feel into that. Deep breaths. When you find a lot of sensation, take a deep breath. And draw your weight forward and lift up your arms. So the knee is over the heel and we reach up. Big lift up towards the sky, more up than forward. Maybe this little back bend by lifting up your heart, just like cobra pose. Exhale, release the hands down, come into your first twist. Back knee can be down or up. Front knee draws in towards the big toe. And we're just breathing. Notice where you're twisting. Great, lower your hand. Take your back foot and we're gonna hop it into warrior one. So bring your fingers down, lengthen that leg a little bit, might feel good. Back heel is up, just kind of like almost like pyramid pose. And then you can hop your foot a little into place. Little hoppy hop for your back foot until it's landed into warrior one, rise up. Warrior one's angled out to about 45 degrees. I recommend space between your feet about the width of your fist or 1.5 fists. Thinking hip bone to hip bone, joint to joint. Lift your arms if you haven't yet. So like pyramid, but your leg stays as it is. Reach forward. Instead of lengthening out that leg, reach all the way forward until you can bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Good, lift back up the same way you went down, front body draws you up. Good, now this time lengthen that leg and do it again. Fold. Awesome, we're changing the back foot back where it came from. So you can walk your weight forward, bend that front knee, power up, lift up your back leg, rotate the toes to the ground and lower it back down. It seems like not that big of a deal unless you slow it down. And then it's pretty interesting. Step back into plank. Lower through a chaturanga if you like. Up dog or cobra. Beautiful shining hearts open, gorgeous, and back to down dog. Great. All of that on the other side, left leg up. Maybe rotate that leg open without rotating at the shoulders or that standing leg. Wiggle your toes. Now we're leveling it out. Bring your foot all the way forward. Good. Lower your back knee down. Lengthen out your leg, draw your hips back. Here, if you want to, move your leg in and out. I like wiggling my toes around, kind of like looking at them. I think toes are kind of funny and cute. It's like they're in it, but they do their own thing. All right, bring your weight forward, front knee over heel, and lift up the arms. Maybe you can open your heart a little bit more, lifting it up, 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 without crunching your low back. Hug your tailbone. Use your glutes for stability in the low back. Gorgeous. Lower the hands and we start to twist. Knee up or down. Heart always, not always, but twist the heart to the knee. Very rare that I would have you twist away from your front leg. Good, now lower your hand, use your fingertips to the ground, lengthen your front leg, but be mindful of any strong sensations at the back of the knee. That's hamstring tendons, and we want to be kind to those. Now change your back foot into warrior one. It'll take like about 4 or 5 hops to get it into place. Rise up, warrior one. Whew. Good. In your strong warrior one, the arms are up. Draw your low belly in. Keep your hips in place. Reach forward, but keep your knee bent. Reach like a rainbow until you can reach to the ground. Reverse that up. Use your core strength. Low belly, middle, upper, everything back up. Now lengthen your leg and do that same thing with pyramid. Engage your quads and your front leg to keep your knees stable. Pyramid. Big relieving breath. Just kind of notice what you feel. Use your breath. So bring your weight forward a little bit. The knee bends. Hands are supportive. A little bit maybe in front of your front foot. Lift up your back leg. Change the direction and bring the toes back down. All the way back. Good. Step into plank pose. Come through your chaturanga as you wish. But when you're done, instead of coming to down dog, go ahead and just lower all the way down. When you get there, make a little pillow out of your hands. You can have your head one way or the other. I sometimes just like to use my hands under my chin and rock your knees out side to side so that your feet move side to side. We're gonna come into like a frog pose here. So be gentle, push back up, and let the knees be open side to side. It's like a child's pose-ish. Use your hands like tabletop. The knees are open. The toes are kind of like outside to the sides. And then you can sink back a little bit, like coming towards child's pose. You might have the knees opening a little bit more if it feels good. Sinking back. I'm not going all the way back, that's for sure, but I might come to my forearms a little bit. Just be here breathing. Whew. Great. Make your way back up into your table. So just take my time, hand, one knee into place and the other. Excellent. In your tabletop, take your left leg back and your right arm forward 3 times, elbow to knee, round under the body. Working on that sense of inner stability, that midline, that core strength. After you reach out the 3rd time, change sides. 3 times. I don't know about you, but I'm always like more stable on one side and the other side is like very wobbly. We're building new neural connections. And the breath can only help that process. Good, change out. Now take your left foot to the side of your mat, rotating the at the knee. Right leg back. We're opening up as if we were coming like this open space, similar to like warrior 2 kind of position. My hands on the ground. My bottom shoulder is supported, but not loading a bunch of weight down. My back leg is lifting. Go ahead and bend your knee and try to reach for your foot. Kick through your knee. Check your neck. Is it okay? Unravel that. Let go of your foot. Kick back out. Arm up. Everything changes. Change sides. What did I decide to call it? I call this like side table. I think that's very cute. It's like side plank / table. I'm sure there's an actual name for it. If it's okay to try, grab for your foot, reach through your knee. Change out. And rotate into your down dog. Come back to down dog. Awesome, awesome. Step all the way forward. It's time to open up. Rise up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart, and let's step open wide onto our mats. I don't want to do a lot wide today, just kind of want to be mellow. Parallel the feet into your fold. We'll spend some time here, maybe 5 breaths, so get comfortable, explore, do what feels good. Engage your knees so that the quads engage to lift up your kneecaps. Giving more space to the hamstrings, allowing them to soften and stretch. Another breath. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, bend the knees, rise up. You can use your hands to the hips to support yourself. We're gonna come into goddess pose. So bring the feet, toes out, heels in a little, knees and toes in the same direction as you fold, bend at the knees. Elbows open. Now check your core. Could you maybe lift up your navel a little bit, draw your ribs in a little bit, sink in, breathe into the back body, soothing breath. This is okay. Reach up, lengthen the legs. Exhale, back into it. So as you sink in, your knees bend, and you might need to adjust the position of your feet just to be avoiding any unnecessary twisting on the knees. We want to take care of them so much. Reach back up. Oh my goodness. One more time. Maybe you sink in a little deeper. Whoa. Maybe you lift your heels for a breath. And come back up. Ooh. Parallel the feet. Open out your right foot into warrior two. Sink in. You might lift and sink a little bit, adjust the spacing of your feet. And let's just take a breath in side angle. So prop up the arm, reach. Breathe. And come back up. Ooh, triangle pose. Slowly rise up, and that knee, rotate the toes back in, forward fold. So the feet are parallel on the outside of the feet. Maybe the big toes might be a little bit more in towards each other. Stretch out side to side. So I'm taking one hand and reaching it far in front of my foot, across the body. And then I'm gonna do that on the other side. Reach out like you're grabbing something, maybe a couple feet in front of your foot. Other side, reach a little closer to your foot. So I'm reaching more straight across. Other side. Different angles. Feeling into different parts of the back and the shoulder. Maybe this time we reach to the actual foot or leg. If you're there, reaching towards it. Other side. Come back up. Let's come back into that goddess pose. Right into it, a little deeper. Heels up, maybe, if you want to. Even if you don't, you might want to try. And let it go up to the sky. Parallel the feet and open into warrior two the other way. Side angle. And come up, lengthen that leg and come into triangle. It's interesting over time, the relationship to different poses changes over the course of your life and practice. You may start out not liking a certain pose and over time you like it, or the opposite. Bend that knee and rise back up. Parallel the feet one more time into your wide fold and do what feels good. If it's reaching forward, side to side, bending a knee at a time, really just explore what your body is asking for at this moment. Coming into midline, heel toe your feet into a froggy squat. So the knees and the toes, same direction as you sink in, hands to the heart, elbows pressing the legs, helping keeping them open. If this isn't the pose for you, don't worry. Maybe there's a different pose, like sitting on your heels. Maybe Something that makes you feel kind of grounded and calm, but not quite child's pose. We're slowly coming up. Take your time. That stand up always makes me lightheaded. I don't know why, but it does. Stand onto one, I just always need a moment. Stand onto one leg. Quad stretch. We did dancer pose last time. If you want to take your quad stretch into dancer pose, feel free. Where we would draw the heart up and reach it forward as you kick into your hand. We talked about where the eyes are in dancer. Try to lift them forward a bit so they're not to the ground. Maybe just out a little bit, keeping the heart up, keeping the eyes forward and open. Good. Change side. If working on the quad stretch is the most productive and useful thing within your body, feel free to use a wall if you're working with balancing, you know. Good, I'm so proud of you. Come on out. Step to the front of your mat. We are going to be coming into pigeon, so if you know you want an alternative pose, please. We're going to get there somehow. Come into your forward fold, and we're just stepping back into down dog, really. Back into down dog. Pigeon, right leg. You can open it up if you like, and swoop your knee to your wrist. The shin is parrot-like diagonal, so your heel is close to the other hip point. Feel free to just drop into your relaxed position. I'll do it facing this way. Alternatives could be a seated figure four. They could be reclined figure four. Standing figure four, I suppose. Slowly make your way out of your position into the other side. Your process is your process. Thinking about other things that could be an alternative. Maybe like taking your leg, when we rock our leg like a baby, holding onto the foot and drawing it close side to side. Could be like fire log. I don't know how that would be, you know, a better pose. Drop into where you are. Relax from your head all the way through your body, breathing into your hips. Breathing into the pelvis, letting it relax. Good job. Slowly make your way out. And we'll end up down into child's pose in your time. Child's pose, your knees could be together or like anywhere from together or to like more like that frog pose. It does change things in the hips and it might feel different in the low back and the back altogether depending on the angle of your legs. It's worth checking out sometime. Good job. Slowly make your way up. And just coming up. I'm going to move a little closer. Come up to your seat, butterfly your legs, and come into your butterfly seated forward fold. See if you could, in your butterfly fold, if you could relax in a little bit more. Maybe you could like let go of the back of your neck. Maybe you can draw yourself down a little further. Take it upright, come up. So we'll just do that little rocking thing all together. So take one leg. Shin is about parallel, like horizontal. Either hold your foot or use your elbow, depending on, if it's available. If it is available, use your elbow. I'll say that. Then we rock it across the body and bring it back. Rock it across. I'm trying to keep my foot in its position instead of letting it roll to the pinky side like it will. So this is more like one of the things that you could do as a pigeon alternative, maybe if it's any better for you or not. There's different reasons that we might make our choices, right? Use your peace fingers around the big toe, and we're lengthening that leg out and bringing it across. So this is a twist. Lift up your spine, hand to the side, up, twist. And release. Other side. So the bottom leg is kind of stabilizing for you. Hold on to this leg. Bring it across the body. The closer the leg is to the heart, the more you will probably feel some sensation in the hip. Hold on to your foot. Kick it out and bring it across. Lift up the spine. Use your hand for support as you twist the heart away from your leg. A breath. And come on out. Excellent. I want to, whatever seat is comfortable for you, if it's available, to stack your knees into a round kind of midline with the heels close up to the hips. I usually shift my weight forward, back, side to side a bit, trying to find the best position in this position. This top knee might be up, it might be to the side. You might not necessarily want it to be there for whatever reason. It could be more like kind of like this. It could be cross-legged, it could be whatever. Reach up. If you do have one knee over the top, the other arm is at the top arm when you bend the elbow. You might try to rotate your elbow a little bit forward so the triceps are kind of rolling forward a bit. Other hand comes across, bend the elbow. Maybe you can touch your hands, maybe not. If you have some sort of grip, but you're rounding in, please let that grip go and lift your spine. Using a tie or a towel, a yoga strap, something like that to hold on to could be good. Relax your hips, relax your jaw. Who needs it, you know? Let it go. If it's interesting to take a little bit of a forward fold here, that would probably create like a pigeon feeling. A pigeon feeling. All these things out of context are like, what? Lean back, change sides. You could do the arms without the legs. You could do the legs without the arm portion. One more breath, we'll slowly come on out. When your hands are not where you can see them, move them extra cautiously and just with a little bit extra love and care. Avoid injury. Little forward fold maybe. Awesome. Take the legs forward. You want to shake them out, maybe rotate them. Bring one foot in, like tree pose. This other foot's grounded and the foot is like flexed a little bit. Exhale, fold over your leg. Rise up, change sides. Rise up, come into boat pose. Feet on the ground, maybe they're up. Hands could hold the legs, maybe they're up. Maybe your legs extend. Keep the heart lifting. Side to side, reach out to one side, If it's available, to bring your fingertips to the ground before you lift them back up, other side. Now, if this loses your like strength, right? If this like makes you kind of like slump back, you could bring the feet down for extra support. Even the toes might be useful. Side to side. I'm reaching my hands up as high as I can without losing the rest of my pose. A couple more times, breathe. One more time, side to side. Hug the back of the legs and roll down. All the way back and down. When you get there, hug your knees, massage your back. You've made it. We'll finish up soon. I want to just do some happy baby. Let things unravel. Let your body soften into the ground, into the mat. Happy baby, grab for your feet and bend the knees to the sides. Kicking into your hands and pulling with your hands into the feet creates this stability into the low back and maybe some good feelings in your hip. We'll be doing this for a few more breaths at least. So you can play, stretch out your legs. I like to bend one knee and take the other leg and really reach through my leg, even out to the side. And do it on the other side. So one knee bends and the other leg is really lengthening. Maybe both legs lengthen like a big V shape. And soften that out. Bring the feet down. Rock your knees side to side. Allow this to be heavy. I kind of like to have my hands on my ribs at the front. Come into a full version of whatever twist you like. If you don't know, there's not one that's best for you. Shift your hips to the right, hug the knees, and allow them to slide. Allow it to be a heavy, easy, effortless twist. Breathing into the back body. Stay there. See if you could drop into your relaxation anymore. Is there any tension to let go of? Eyebrows, temples, jaw, neck. Any tension in the shoulders or the heart? And breathe into the chest and the back body. And we'll take it the other direction. Just softening in, relaxing, giving it up to the ground, to the mat, to the earth, to things just as they are. You can close your eyes even. Come out, hug your knees in again. And if you need anything before Shavasana, take it, do it. Nice. Maybe you keep that sense of heaviness, dropping into just being here.